Is it trash or is it treasure?
In this video, we are going to walk you through a thrift store to show you what items we look for, how we find their value, and how you can make money as a reseller.
So personally, when I walk in a thrift store, I see a lot of junk. I don't see a lot of value there. But what we've learned about reselling is that when you're first getting started, it's best to just pick one or two categories that interest you and learn a lot about reselling in that category. For instance, there's a lot of people who make a ton of money selling just denim or electronics they find in thrift stores, shoes. There's also collectible items, furniture, just the list is endless. But really, what you need to find is what makes the most sense for you and what you're most interested in, and just learn a lot about that topic. So we're going to talk about a few of our favorite categories to thrift in today, and Sarah's going to take it away because she knows a lot about this stuff.
I really enjoy thrifting. I think it's super fun. Jamie likes the idea of reselling, but the actual thrifting isn't necessarily his favorite part.
Not my favorite way to get inventory.
Dang.
It's more of a treasure hunt when you're thrifting, which is the fun part about it.
Yes. I have personally been loving the Christmas section this season for huge profit margins. I found this Limax reptile house at Goodwill for $4.99 and sold it really quickly on eBay for $90.
You're still out, huh?
Reptile house.
120 bucks on eBay. Sold.
What?
Christmas items are super unique because there's a huge amount of nostalgia profits to be made. An item may not be extremely expensive to begin with, but a buyer may be looking for an exact item that they had growing up and are willing to pay more than what it sold for in 1979 because it brings them nostalgic joy. I personally really love these kind of flips.
Next, we're going to show you how to determine whether or not these items you find in a thrift store actually have value. You may look at an item and think that it looks expensive or looks valuable, but you can't really tell without looking up sold comps on eBay and doing some research on Facebook Marketplace.
The same can also be true though, that you might not know that something is valuable and expensive because maybe it doesn't look expensive to you, but you look it up and there's actually huge profits to be made. So that's why educating yourself and just finding random items at a thrift store and doing what we're about to tell you to do next will really help you in your reselling journey. While you're in the store with an item in front of you, go ahead and open up your Google app, press that camera button in the search bar, and take a photo or choose a photo that you already took. Usually an eBay listing will pop up, and click on that listing. Now you can see what they're asking for that particular item. You'll also find out exactly what that item is called if you didn't know already. From here, you want to take it one step further. Now that you know what the item is called, you should be able to copy and paste that item into eBay. Usually you'll see a lot of listings for one particular item. Remember to always filter by sold items. These are the actual numbers you should care about and consider when buying an item to resell. You can see that this item sold for between $18 to $30 in the past couple of weeks. Don't forget to account for shipping and eBay fees. There is some room for profit here, but it isn't huge. This is an item you'd want to pick up if you're doing high volume sales, so selling a lot of items for $10 to $30 profit. So just remember not to be fooled by the for sale price of some items. Just because someone is asking $200 for a random item doesn't mean that it'll necessarily sell for that. Always go by sold comps and see what people are actually willing to pay for that item. One place that I really love to start in a thrift store is by looking through the winter coats. The reason for this is because when you buy a winter coat, usually it's expensive to begin with. As you can see here, there's some really good brands I found just by quickly flipping through. I found this Columbia coat. I picked up this little number for my dad because it's his size and it was in perfect condition. Merry Christmas, Dad. So I like to look for good brands, but also expensive fabrics like wool or down. Don't skip over the shoes in the purse section. I know some people that do this for their entire job and they are wildly successful. But again, it's important to research these items and become educated in this field because some shoes might seem like they do really well, but you need to know your sold comps and find out what these items are actually selling for.
Before we get any further into the video, we want to talk about today's video sponsor, Govee.
It can be really hard to know what to get Jamie every year for Christmas, but this year I think I found the perfect gift, and Christmas came a little bit early because Jamie has always wanted a nice home theater setup. So with Govee's T2 TV backlight, we are taking our movie watching to the next level.
The T2 backlight works by using a patented color matching camera technology. As you can see, there are two cameras that are used to accurately detect the colors on the screen. The lighting will expand to the wall or the entire room, giving you an immersive experience while playing games or watching TV shows. I was so shocked at the difference that the Govee made in our movie watching experience. The TV actually felt bigger and it felt like you're really at the movies. And you don't need to be concerned about compatibility because the Govee T2 adapts up to 99% of PC and TV screens on the market. T2 comes with everything you need to set it up and there's no extra hardware needed.
Govee also has a T1 backlight. This version is more compact and only has one camera and a few less light beads. This is a great option if budget is a concern. We think that this is such a cool gift option. You can never really go wrong. Even if you're not the most tech savvy person, this is so easy to set up and it can really make a really cool experience for someone.
So click the link down below and use our discount code for an exclusive discount. Let's get back into the video. We found this Echo Dot in the electronics section. Goodwill had it priced to $8, which seemed like a steal. I would have guessed that these items sell for anywhere between $50 and $80, but once we looked it up, we found out that it was an old model and was only selling on Amazon brand new for $15. So this would be an item that would be a definite pass once you did the research, but you may be fooled by it at first.
So someone that I really like to follow thrifting on YouTube is someone called Crazy Lamp Lady. She's awesome. She's really into figurines and pottery, and she's just super knowledgeable on that subject. So this is an item that I found in the thrift store that I was like, maybe Crazy Lamp Lady would look up this item. I personally wouldn't find value here, but I'm gonna look it up and see. So this is one of those items that when you first look it up, you might get excited because you see someone listing it for $66 on Etsy. But when I go and type in that exact thing on eBay, I see it being sold for between $8 and $15. So for me, I'm gonna pass on this one. I bought this toddler rain suit for $2.99 and sold it on eBay for $47 after a few weeks of it being listed. I knew that this was a quality brand, and so I picked it up right away when I saw it. Because it was so lightweight, I knew it would be super cheap to ship, a very easy item to resell. I personally love reselling clothing for this reason because the inventory is really small, easy to store, easy to ship. So this is a great option if you live in an apartment or don't have a lot of storage, or you're just getting started. When I saw this popcorn ball on the shelf, I was super excited because it looked vintage, it looked really unique, I thought it was really cool. So I was surprised when I found out that it wasn't as good as I thought. After researching it, there were a few listed for around $25 to $35, but 0 were sold. So ultimately I had to pass on this item. So this is what reselling is just looking up items and finding out their value. And you might find a lot of stuff that isn't worth buying, and that's okay because you will find stuff that is worth buying. So we're trying to show you both ends of the spectrum.
And you're gonna get better at it the more you practice, and so you're gonna end up being able to do it a lot faster in the future if you become an expert in a few of those categories.
All right, so here is this sweet little nativity set I picked up today. It is a Mexican pottery hand-painted nativity set. I paid $4 for it. You can see from this little bag right here, it has these little stickers that say made in Mexico. So I am actually taking a picture right now, and this is my little setup right here just on my hardwood floor with our countertop backdrop. And I'm gonna be listing this on eBay as soon as possible because it's almost Christmas and this will sell way better this time of year than in January. So this will be pretty easy to ship. It's pretty light weight and small. They're a little bit of weight to them, but not too much. I'll just have to make sure I'm packaging them really well because they are a little bit fragile, but there's a ton of detail on them. I found them on eBay, one selling without the baby Jesus and just like 7 of the pieces, so about half of what I have, for I think $50 plus shipping. I found all different sorts of comps on this, but none of them were under around 70 for the whole set, or 75 I think. Some of them were up to like 150, but that's reaching a little bit I think. So a very unique piece. I'm excited to see how it does. I've been having really good luck with Christmas stuff this time of year, so
I found this Harry Potter collectible item, or so I thought. A lot of times Disney, Harry Potter, big names like that are very collectible items and they sell for a lot on eBay, especially if they're a rare item. But this item was not that collectible according to the comps. So we went ahead and passed on it. It also wasn't in that great of condition.
That's also a really good point, is that you need to make sure the condition is good. Look for chips and things, stains, rips, anything like that. That is super important. So if it has any issues with it, the resale value goes way down. So this bowl is a decent one to pick up because it is a Fitz & Floyd, which is a name brand. The more I watch Crazy Lamp Lady, the more I've been educated that that's a brand she always picks up. And so I knew it right away when I saw it. Over time, my knowledge has expanded on these random items and thrifting has become easier and faster. This particular bowl will sell anywhere between $30 and $80. So this would have been a good one to pick up. I personally have had a lot of good luck in the dresses section, finding brands like Lulu and Lilly Pulitzer. As you learn the desirable brands, this will become easier to spot.
Finding furniture to flip at Goodwill has become a lot harder in the past few years. There's usually not much value there. Instead, we find our furniture more frequently just by using Facebook Marketplace.
Furniture flipping is how we got started in reselling, and it is one of our very favorite ways to resell an item. So if you are interested in learning more about how to get undervalued items on Facebook Marketplace, leave a comment below. That's definitely a video that we want to tackle. We also sell our flipping guide that has a lot of information and really unique tips on this. We'll leave that link below as well.
And here's the dope vintage button-up we found the other day in the store. I personally might even just keep this. But vintage clothing is another really big category that people make a lot of money in at the thrift store.
Yep, so I knew that this item was vintage just by the look of it, and then when I looked up the brand and found other sold comps on eBay, I knew it was a good buy. So if you want this in your closet, check our eBay store. Another tip that we have is to bring your kids. Kids love thrift stores, and reselling is one of the only jobs where kids are allowed. Our girls love to play in the thrift store. There's toys everywhere. We make sure we clean up afterwards, but it is a ton of fun for the whole family. So that's why I personally love thrifting. We also buy most of our toys and books secondhand, which saves us a ton of money, and the toys end up going back to the thrift store eventually anyway.
So in this video, we talked a lot about the sourcing side of reselling, but there's also a whole nother side, which is the listing and shipping. And we'll include a few of our favorite supplies below, like our label printer and packing supplies, things like that, if you're interested in that. And we'll also have a listing and shipping video that you can go check out next. So click this link, wherever it is, and go check that one out. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.